morning, guys. It's Tina and I am back on this rainy morning with another car chat video. And as you can tell from the title, it's another day, another drama in the beauty community. And I feel like every week we have something else that pops up that relates to the beauty community. Somebody said something, there's always some drama, and I'm a little bit tired. I'm a little bit over it. Like, I just want to get back to enjoying makeup, and I think that's for all of us. But sometimes you're just on the sidelines like, what? You're just like, I want to see where these chips fall, because everybody's getting involved and it's a whole hoopla. And I personally didn't think it was that serious, and I didn't even want to talk about this, but it has evolved into this bigger deal, and some of you guys wanted me to share my views on it, so here I am. And just in case the title didn't give it away, or really you just don't care and you mind your own business, you're in your own lane, so you don't even know what the heck is going on, this is about Too Faced versus Jeffree Star. And oh my goodness, why does this person find himself in all this drama all the time? Like, he's always inserting himself in some drama and some issue, and it's just, oh. But anyway, you guys probably already know my feelings about Jeffree Star. I don't go out of my way to bash him or drag him or find things to say about him. I just don't really pay attention to him because he's just not my cup of tea, and I don't want to surround myself with that kind of negativity. But alas, here I am talking about him, so I may be a little bit of a hypocrite, and I'm okay with that. But you know what triggered this video? I'm gonna give you a little background. I posted a video yesterday with lip swatches of the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipsticks. Now, I've been posting these lip swatch videos because I recorded them, I have them available, and I'm like, these might be good resources for other people who are interested in seeing different shades swatched on the lips rather than like on the back of your hand or something, because they may not be able to see these in store themselves. They may not be that accessible and they have to purchase online. And if I can provide swatches that can be helpful, that's what I'm doing. So that's what I did, right? Like, I posted 4 swatch videos of the lipsticks that I have most of the shades, right? So anyway, I'm gonna post them there. And the Too Faced one went up yesterday, and someone commented, she was so snooty and rude. She was like, oh, I wonder how much Too Faced is paying you to do this video, because they've been going through all this controversy lately, and here you are promoting their products. Now, mind you, I didn't say even a one word in any of the swatch videos, and I posted 4 of them: Smashbox, Sephora, Wet n Wild, and Too Faced. I didn't utter one word. I didn't say anything. All I did literally were swatches, and this person reached so far. I was certain that she was gonna find water on Mars, how far she reached, right? She was like, oh, they're paying you, OMG, you've changed. I started watching you because I thought you were genuine, and oh my god, now you've changed, and yeah. And I'm like, what? Like, OMG. And I found it hilarious, because here's the thing. Oh, let me give you now so that's the background. That's what triggered this video. But let me give you the background on the drama. I'm gonna be all over the place in this video because it's rainy, it's morning, and here I am. So Jeffree Star and one of the co-founders, because I don't think he's an owner anymore, because he sold Too Faced to Estee Lauder. So Estee Lauder acquired Too Faced. This is no longer an owner, but he's a co-founder, and I do believe he may still be involved with the Too Faced brand, you know, to some extent. He may still have some stock in it, but anyhow, he's still employed. He's still running some of the campaigns. He's still, you know, in the background at Too Faced. This is Gerard, okay? So you may remember Gerard. He did the collaboration with Kat Von D with that Too Faced and Kat Von D set. Remember that? That was, I think during the holidays they did that set. So that's the guy I'm talking about, Gerard. He made a post on Instagram with his, I think Too Faced has like a unicorn lipstick, a unicorn something lipstick, and his caption was along the line of they're the original unicorn whatever, and they're still the #1 seller on Sephora. And then the hashtag was, there are no unicorns in the Amazon. That was it. That was the gist. Now, Jeffree Star took it upon himself to call out Gerard from Too Faced. He called him out for shading to Tarte Cosmetics. As you may know, Tarte Cosmetics has a full line of Amazonian clay products. So they have foundations, eyeshadows, lipsticks, like there's, well, probably not lipsticks, but they use Amazonian clay. That was their shtick for quite a long time. They use Amazonian clay in a ton of their products. So of course they have like Amazon range, right? So Jeffree Star is saying Gerard is shading Tarte Cosmetics, and he thinks that's underhanded and dirty and malicious and all this stuff, right? He was going in on Gerard Cosmetics. Mind you, when I saw the post, I giggled. I was like, oh, look at this playful competition, because Tarte Cosmetics released their unicorn collection, because unicorns are a thing apparently. I don't care about unicornism. Like, I'm not into it. I'm too old for unicorns. Like, where am I going? I need to sit down and go sip my latte and shut up. But I'm not into unicorns, so I don't care. But anyhow, unicorn theme, it's a thing. They're making brushes, eyeshadows, the whole thing, the whole nine, right? Which is fine. It's pretty, it's playful, it's colorful, which I like. I want them to do a Lisa Frank theme. That's what I want, with the bright bold colors. Oh my god, I'd be all over it. It'd be a little bit young for me, but I grew up with Lisa Frank, so why wouldn't I be all over it? Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna be all over the place. Anyway, so Too Faced Cosmetics Gerard was somehow like being playful and saying there are no unicorns in the Amazon, kind of playing against Tarte Cosmetics unicorn collection, saying, hey, we're the originals, we're still the best sellers, and you pretty much, you know, you're a runner-up, you're coming in second. And I honestly still look at it as playful competition, just like how Wendy's is making jabs at McDonald's about using frozen beef patties versus fresh beef patties, right? I look at it as playful competition. I didn't see it as anything more and anything less. Was it shady? Yeah, but was it malicious? I did not find it malicious at all. At all. And Jeffree Star went on Snapchat, where he usually goes and unleashes his wrath. Like, he was ranting, and this is just secondhand, because first of all, I don't even look at Snapchat for the most part, which is probably something that you guys wished I did more, some of you guys, but I don't have the energy for Snapchat, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys don't have the energy either. It's just this 24-hour Snapchat thing. I don't know, like, it deletes after 24 hours. So if you don't catch what I said in 24 hours or the post that I made, then it's gone and whatever. Anyway, people are recording these Snapchats and posting them, so they're not really gone forever, which was the premise of Snapchat in the first place. So there are recordings of his Snapchat, and he's going on saying that Too Faced Cosmetics, they're shady, and how they're talking about Tarte Cosmetics, and how they're not the originators of the unicorn theme, because who is it? Lime Slime is the original, and Jeffree Star doesn't even like Lime Crime, but here they did it first. And what about his unicorn lipstick? I think he has a unicorn lipstick, whatever the hell. Anyway, long story short, it then escalated quickly. It went 0 to 100 real quick, because it went from him saying Too Faced Cosmetics was shady because they were talking smack about Tarte Cosmetics, which I didn't see the smack. It was playful banter. He then said, oh, they engage in shady business practices because you should see the deal that they made with NikkieTutorials for her Power of Makeup collection. Like, she did a palette set, so it was an eyeshadow palette with some add-ons or whatever. But you should see how shady that deal was with Nikkie and the contract. And I was like, here we go. He used something small as a gateway to something larger that he was carrying around, and he's now forwarding his own agenda because somehow he has a vendetta against Too Faced Cosmetics. And I wouldn't be surprised if it had something to do with the friendship between Kat Von D and Gerard from Too Faced, because of course they did that collaboration. They're friendly, you know. He used that to kind of segue his way into a bigger drama. Oh my God, I was like, of course, this is his MO. This is what he does. He uses people, he manipulates things into the way he wants it. He makes it, he molds it to fit his agenda. So now he's there talking about how Too Faced screwed NikkieTutorials in her contract and how they only paid her $50,000 and how they sent her one product and she approved it, but then they released a shitty product. And he went on and on and on, and how he's gonna reveal the details of the NikkieTutorials contract because she let him know, even though there was a non-disclosure, she let him know the details, right? And he's gonna expose it because she can't expose it because she can't talk about it, and all this to do. And I'm just sitting there like, first of all, if there was a non-disclosure agreement and if she was not supposed to talk about it, but she spoke to you about it, and then you're now speaking about it, saying that you got the information from her, she can get into a lot of trouble. Just because you're the one saying it doesn't mean that she didn't have a hand in it. Like, why did you know the details of her contract? They were friends at one point, and he did confirm that they're no longer friends. So he said Nikkie and him are no longer friends, confirmed that for the record. And I believe NikkieTutorials did make the right move with that. She distanced herself from him because she was being pressured by the online community and her subscribers to let that friendship go, and she did, and good for her. She's young, she's learning her way around the business community. I mean, she was into beauty, and now she was very young when she started. She was 14. I mean, come on. So she's growing up, she's learning more, and now she's involved in the business aspect of it. So obviously she's gonna make mistakes along the line. So she probably let him know her contract as a friend, and here he comes. This is like a friend that you tell your secrets and then they come busting it out to everybody when you're no longer friends. So who's the shady one, Jeffree? I mean, excuse me, you're shady as hell, because now Nikkie can get into legal trouble. Not just you, but Nikkie as well. So if they come after you to sue you for releasing confidential details of her contract, guess what? Nikkie is also involved. So now she's no longer your friend, but now you're dragging her through the mud as well. But Jeffree Star was saying all these things. He's gonna release the contract. If Nikkie says it's okay, she's not gonna tell you that's okay. She's gonna get in trouble. Not only are you tarnishing her reputation with Too Faced, now you're tarnishing it with other brands that may have been interested in working with her that are not now gonna be very hesitant. Like, they're not gonna want to work with her now after all this, regardless of what's involved. Like, they're gonna be afraid that if something happens in the deal that someone can perceive as shady, now it's gonna be broadcast, and now they have to worry about a PR nightmare themselves. So Jeffree Star is not understanding. He's old enough. He's been in this business world long enough. He's been on social media long enough. He was on MySpace. He has been around long enough to know the ramifications of his actions and to be cognizant of it and be able to sit back and be like, wait a minute, what are the consequences to not just myself, but to the other parties involved? And that is underhanded as hell. Now, the funny thing about it is, so he's saying Too Faced is this, he's throwing Too Faced under the bus, trying to make them seem like the worst company around. And I'm just here like, all right, so NikkieTutorials signed a shitty contract. Welcome to the real world. So she signed a contract, he's saying $50,000, and that's all she got, and she got a delayed payment, and she was not able to work with other brands during the course of the contract. Some blah, 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 so, you know, whatever. She signed it, okay? NikkieTutorials has a management team that handles her money. They collect her money and take a cut. They're taking between 10% and probably 30% or more from her earnings. And you're telling me she has a team. She has a management team. And if you're going to sign a contract, you should also have lawyers involved. And you're telling me with all those people around her, all her friends in the industry, because she's friends with other big beauty influencers that have done their own collaborations, all those resources around her, her parents, all of that. She's done other deals. She's done, I think she did like what is it called? The America's Next Top Models. She did Holland's version. I think it's Holland. The country that she's in, I think it's Holland. Isn't it Holland? I could swear. I may be getting that wrong. But whatever country she's in, she did their version of America's Next Top Model. Obviously it won't be America's Next Top Model. It's their version. And she was on that. So she's done deals before. This is not her first time at the rodeo. And you can't just sweep it under the rug saying she's young and she was easily manipulated and she was taken advantage of. She's not new to the industry either. She signed this contract and agreed to the terms. So how am I supposed to sit here and feel bad for someone who had ample time to read through the contract and agree to the terms, negotiate different terms if she didn't agree with it? Why should I be mad that she did that? She did that to herself. Her team did that to her. She should be mad at her team and her advisors. Like, how is she going to be mad at Too Faced? Too Faced came to the table, said, boom, this is what we're doing. She could have been like, no, I'm good, thank you. Because she's not obligated to say yes. She could have been like, no, thank you, no. Or she could have been like, yeah, okay, that's cool, thank you. So that's your starting offer. Here's my counter offer. And like, counter high. Like, you need to know your worth. It's not my fault you didn't. And my whole thing with these collaborations is you should sign on with a lump sum, right? And then you should get like a cut per unit sold. So you also get a retroactive check on how many units sold, depending on how well the launch does, right? Because you're going to be promoting it. You're going to be doing all these things. You should also get a cut on what, because you're doing part of the marketing and you're selling it to your audience. Like, you have millions of subscribers on YouTube, millions of people follow you on Snapchat, millions follow you on Instagram, Twitter. You have enough ammunition to say, I'm worth more. So I am not at all offended for and upset by the contract that was set forth. If those people agreed to that contract and signed it, were the terms not the best? That is not for me to say. This is something they agreed together. All right. So I don't feel bad about it. Boo-hoo. If it was a bad contract, you learned your lesson. I bet you won't make the same mistake now. I bet the contract with Oprah was much better now. So it's almost like you lost some, but you gained the experience and you learned from your mistakes. So I really don't feel bad for NikkieTutorials. So now you have these influencers that are speaking out because of what Jeffree Star said and how he twisted things and manipulated it to make it sound a certain way. And they don't have, I guess they aren't critical thinkers. They're not stepping back and like evaluating the situation on their own. Like, all right, so this is what happened. This is what went down. This is what Jeffree's saying. But this is one person's side of the story. NikkieTutorials isn't going to say anything. But if you're friends with Nikki, you can be like, Nikki, what's going on, sweetie? She may be jaded now and won't talk about it ever to anyone because her business is going to be on Front Street. And I don't blame her either. But, like, you gotta take a step back. What's Jeffree Star's angle? Like, he wants to sabotage Too Faced Cosmetics for whatever personal problems he has with them, whatever vendetta he has. So now, that's what he's doing, but you're standing here like, oh, I'm Jeffree Star's friend, so I'm gonna believe what he says. And, like, I'm so mad at Too Faced. Like, oh my God, Too Faced. All this time, you never had a problem with Too Faced. All this time, you were fine with Too Faced. All of a sudden, now you have a problem because Jeffree Star said you should have a problem. And that's where I think this whole thing is going wrong, and it's so shitty because young audience, we have very impressionable young people, teenagers that don't have a capacity to really analyze the situation. They don't have the maturity level, and they don't have the experience in life to really sit back and analyze what's going on. We have these influencers that are just running with their friend, and it's so underhanded what Jeffree Star is doing, and most people don't see it. And what really sealed it for me, Tati from Glam Life Guru, somebody that I've watched and I've respected, and to me, she is one of the hardest working YouTubers. She produces a video every day, 5 days a week, like, and then sometimes she does extra, and she does series, and she, to me, she is a great YouTuber. She doesn't go away for a month without producing content. She's producing content daily, even when she's doing her wedding. Like, she's a hard worker, and it's not some little crappy content that she's like, oh, look at what's in my bag. She's actually doing, like, real videos that people will be interested in, and I do watch her channel. And then she came out and she's like, I no longer support Too Faced Cosmetics because they're, like, shady. And then the next couple of days, she was in a video with Jeffree Star and Laura Lee, and I was like, see it there? Now we know why you're not supporting Too Faced Cosmetics, because you're friends with Jeffree Star. And I don't care who you're friends with, like, do you? But you need to be careful about how those friends influence your life and influence your thoughts. And really step back and see if this is some decision you would have arrived at by yourself. Like, on your own, would you have arrived at the same conclusion? Like, given all the facts, not like speculation, but facts, would you have arrived at the same conclusion yourself, given your own morals, your own thoughts? Like, would you have arrived at that? And to me, he manipulated the crap out of her, and now she's, like, making a stand against Too Faced Cosmetics, which she doesn't realize that that's going to compound other things, because now other brands are going to look at you like, all right, so you don't know what kind of relationships Too Faced Cosmetics has. I mean, they're with Estee Lauder. So if you're saying you're no longer working with Too Faced Cosmetics, Estee Lauder is their mother company. I want you to understand the reach of Estee Lauder. They are one of the biggest, the mothership of makeup, right? They have so many brands under their name. They have MAC. MAC, Tom Ford, Bobbi Brown, Clinique. There are so many brands under that umbrella, and you just pigeonhole yourself because of Jeffree Star. Now, that may not matter to her. I mean, it may not matter to a lot of people, but you don't realize the consequences of your actions until months later. You're like, oh crap, now I screwed myself out of deals with other brands and working with other brands because I said this. And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, but the conclusion that I came to, I'm still buying Too Faced Cosmetics. I have no issues with what Gerard Cosmetics, no, that company can suck it. I have no issues with what Gerard from Too Faced Cosmetics said in his post. I thought it was playful, competitive banter. I had no issues with it. And at the end of the day, the contract details between NikkieTutorials and Too Faced, she had ample time to negotiate a better contract for herself, and she didn't. And you know what? Sometimes you take one for the team and you learn moving forward. And I think she did learn from her mistakes. She's learning and she's growing. and she's becoming a wiser business person. And maybe she needed to go through this to really understand how to run our business. She not run party shop. She run a conglomerate. Star up herself, Nikki. Like, I really like NikkieTutorials. And I don't think NikkieTutorials expects people who support her to boycott Too Faced Cosmetics because of whatever they did to her. They did to her. Like, they didn't do anything to her. This is something she agreed to. So I'm still buying Too Faced Cosmetics. I still love my Too Faced Better Than Sex. I still love my chocolate bar palette. I absolutely love my melted matte liquid lipsticks. And if you want to believe I'm sponsored for loving products, then I don't know what to tell you. You probably don't know me very well, which is fine. That's fine. But let me know what you guys think. Like, where are you in this whole thing? Like, where do you stand? Because I want to know if Jeffree Star is really that influential and that manipulative and that charismatic that he can manipulate minds and thoughts to people seeing things his way. I'm like, you know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to get in before this rain starts because I don't want to get my umbrella. Yeah, my umbrella. No, it's up to that. But have a great weekend, guys. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.